The new Son Goku for FB03 is quickly becoming one of my most favorite leaders of all time. I'm not kidding, it's pretty good. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. My name is Mabi. Today we're going to talk about the Goku Blue leader from FB03. We're going to talk about every single card in here and how it works, the ultimate playstyle. Let's get started. Make sure to like and subscribe for more daily duels and deck profiles. We upload One Piece, Dragon Ball Fusion World, and Union Arena on this channel. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. This is going to be from 1 cost all the way down to 0. We'll talk about the leader first and talk about the ultimate archetype. So this is Goku, and I think later on it might work well with another world / Saiyan stuff, but for right now, the full archetype in here is Satan City. There's almost every single card in here is a Satan City card, and there's good reason for that. Let's talk about it. The leader, when attacking, draw, then you can awaken at 4. Okay, so here is the leader, 20,000. When attacking, you draw 2, then you place 1 on top of your deck. So essentially, this ability lets you set up on top a lot of abilities that are perfect for these cards. Then you can activate this during battle on your opponent's turn, only once per turn. You can switch one of your cards in your battle area to rest mode. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, this card gets 10,000 power for the battle. So this seems like a really bad ability, but honestly with this deck you have so many 1 and 2 costs that you're going to have on your board just all the time that this is going to go off more often than not. However, with this card, with this deck, you're actually going to have a ton of cards, so you have to make sure that you have the right amount there. So let's get started. I'll leave this here so you can remember it. So this is Eraser, Satan City Earthling, 155 on play. Look at the top 5, grab a 4 or less Satan City in your hand, then add it to your hand. A really good card. You run 4 of these 100%. This is another good contender for even using. This is probably one of the best use of your leader ability as well. So running 4 of these erasers. Next up we have Sharpeners. This is 1/5/10, really good counter. Earthling Satan City. Activate main once per turn. You reveal the top card of your deck, and if it's a Satan City, and you remember you can set it up, and then during this turn, the next time you use an extra from your hand, reduce the cost by 1 blue. So there are a ton of extras in this deck, and a lot of them are a 1 cost, but even those that are 3 or something like that, getting it reduced by 1 is perfect. If you have more than 1 sharpener, it's freaking crazy. This card is so good. You should use it as well for your rest mode ability, but you want to keep them on the field as much as possible, so you have to decide whether or not it's worth it, because having the reduction cost is really good, really amazing for this deck. So you're running 4 of these sharpeners. Now we're going to talk about our first extra of the deck. This is a field card. You play it for 1, and honestly, if you get this on your first turn, if you get your opening hand, if you have 1 or 2, this is perfect. This is a really good card to have. You throw it out turn 1, then you use 2 on your next turn. Place this to the drop, look at the top 3, and then you play a battle card with a cost of 4. So, best case scenario, turn 1, your first energy, you play this for 1. Next turn, you use 2 and you throw out an early game 4 drop or lower. It's really amazing. It has to be Satan City, of course, but these are amazing. And once again, remember, also everything combos with Sharpener. I'm going to go ahead and keep both these 2 up because these are your combo pieces for this deck. So running 4 of these because they're just that amazing. Next up, it's another event of the deck, the Great Saiyaman. 1. Activate main. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with less or equal to the number of cards that you have with Satan City. Then you place it to the bottom. So this is a really good card, because you're going to be flooding the board with 1,000,000 Satan City cards. Even if you have 2 to 3 of them, you're going to get a lot of value because this is just a 1 cost, potentially 0 cost. And you don't KO it, you place it to the bottom. So some cards that are coming out says you can't be KO'd, blah 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 blah. Well, this just bottom decks it. You absolutely run 4 of these. This deck is a small body swarm and a lot of removal, and the removal here, it's good, man, it's good. All right, you prefer girls with short hair? It's another FB03 card. 1 cost, can become 0. Activate main. If you have 3 or more cards with Satan City in their special trait, which is going to happen a lot, draw 3, then you get rid of 1, you put 1 on top of your deck. So once again, you use this and you can set up some stuff, but using 1, you're going to be drawing 2 cards. Card advantage in Future World is amazing. So this will go off a lot. You're going to get a ton of stuff. It's really good. Now we're going to move on to some of the bodies here. This is just Videl, basic vanilla 22010, but it has Satan City, so you can combo some stuff out of there. We're running 4 of these Videls. Next up, it's another FB03 Satan City 220 0 counter. When attacking, if you have 7 or fewer cards, then you can add up to 1 blue non-Videl with the cost of 3 or less from your drop to your hand. That's really good. So 3 or less and Earthling. So there's a lot of Earthling cards, for example, Sharpeners and other stuff. It's good. It's freaking amazing. So this is just a really good card to get stuff back. SR. Good for good reason. Damn, it's a good Videl card. All right, next up, it's a Gohan. 32510, Vanilla, Sun Gohan Adolescence, Saiyan, Earthling, Satan City. A lot of good Satan City stuff. It's an Earthling, so it can be brought back by Videl 2. Or is Videl only a 3? Up to a 3 cost. Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, so good. Even if you are able to get this Gohan out, honestly, with the, what the hell is it called? With the orange high school, you're getting some good value out of this. But yeah, that's good. All right, next up we have Gohan Adolescence again. This is a promo card. 325 on play, 7 or fewer, draw 2, then place 1. So once again, more hand size, baby. Of course, you have to have 7 or less, but still, more stuff. And because you want to keep things alive a lot, especially your early game attackers that you get out, you can go ahead and counter a bunch because you absolutely do need 7 or fewer to do a lot of this stuff. Okay, next up, it's your last sort of extras of the deck. This is from FB02, Absolute Lightning. So this can't be searched out by anything in the deck, but it's really good. 3, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and place it to the bottom of the deck. So this is a straight removal, baby. Unless they have Barrier, which is the only card in the deck right now, is the new Majin Buu from FB03. But this card's really amazing. You can get this 3 cost to a 2 cost, to a 1 cost, even to a 0 if you have a bunch of Sharpeners on the field. It's really cool. I believe the Sharpeners do stack. If you have 2 of them, the next time you use an extra reduce it, so it should stack, right? But anyway, this is just a different version of the Great Saiyaman. The Great Saiyaman depends on how many Satan Cities you have on the board. That's why it's a 1 cost. This is just, hey, maybe you don't have enough or whatever. You just go ahead and just get rid of it. So these are really good. I'm running 4 of these. So there's a ton of removal in this deck. Next off, we have the Great Saiyamans 43010 Vanilla. This is one of your best cards to get out with the orange high school card. A nice 30k early game against their 15. It's going to be tough for them to remove. Honestly, it's really good. Next up, we have another Gohan card. Sun Gohan Adolescence Saiyan Earthling, another Saiyan City card. SR from FB03 430. It has the same attack power. On play, 7 or fewer cards. Choose 2 battle cards of your opponent's, 3 or less, and bottom deck them. Now, in this deck, there is no way to actually lower the cost. There are some cards in it. I believe there's like a 1-drop Hercule or something that does it, but it's not in this deck. I feel like with the Great Saiyaman card and the Absolute Lightning, you have enough removal that could, get anything. That this is just really good if they have a bunch of small stuff on the field. But if you can get this out once again with the orange high school, you're just going to get so much value. There is a ton of value in these cards that you can get out. And these are honestly the highest cost Satan City cards. It's just the 2 Gohans, but that's okay. And then last card is just Videl. It has nothing to do in here. You can't do anything with it. No combos. It's just, thematic with Videl being in here. So this is my favorite leader that has come out. I think the strongest deck, honestly, that did come out from FB03, and this is the last of the 6 leaders. You guys should look at the full playlist if you guys want to see. But I think Jiren is probably objectively maybe the best, but this one is my favorite because if your opponent doesn't have a lot of just removal cards, and I'm saying like, oh yeah, they could attack into your cards to get rid of stuff, but with you having a bunch of Sharpeners that you're not going to be resting, a bunch of erases that you're not going to be resting, you're going to have a lot of Satan City cards down. And yeah, you can use it with your leader. Your leader ability is not the greatest, you know, because you're gonna have a ton of cards in your hand, but once it goes off, it goes off. But also you can draw two and put one on top, so you can easily set up. You can easily set this up. So late game, obviously you can't do it right away, but if your opponent awakens you and you end up getting some orange star high schools later, and this says you look at the top 3, even though you have a good chance of getting something good, you can go ahead and use your Goku, attack, grab any 2 cards, and then you place any card from your hand. It's any card from your hand, not the 2 that you picked up. So you can put up a bunch of Gohans in here and then just get them out. It's freaking amazing. And the overall, you know, just a lot of ways to just to remove stuff. It's solid. You don't have the greatest power level on the field, but it's consistent. You're removing stuff, and it's just a rush down that your opponent's gonna wish they had a bunch of just cards to remove things. So this deck is so good in that regard. But yeah, it really falls behind in terms of if your opponent has ways to just remove a lot of tiny things without having to attack into them, like, you know, resting them and then attacking into them, or, you know, stuff like this Gohan where this remove tiny things. So this is a tiny swarm, a lot of hand draw and removal. It's a good deck. It's a fun time if you can get it to work. So let me know what you guys think of the new FB03 Leaders. This has been the last one. I think upcoming, I'm probably going to be revising some starter deck leaders, FB01, FB02, because there's a good amount of support for them as well, especially with like the other blue leaders that I want to try out. So in the future, I'll do some of those, but that's it for the FB03. I'm going to go ahead and revisit them. When FB04 comes out, there's probably going to be a support, like maybe some more Satan City cards that we can put in here, etc. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think about the leader, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.